All right, guys, let's undo the implementation for the login functionalities. So the first thing we need to do is to add the HTML code. All right, so I will just copy the HTML and then paste it. So it's just plain HTML and also the CSS. Then we'll go over to the JavaScript and write the logic here. All right, guys, I've added the HTML code. So this is the HTML. It is just a simple HTML with there's an header here, login. Then it says login to your account to start chatting with your peers. So and there's just an email and a password. All right. So but now what we are using the username to log in. So let's just specify the username here instead of email. So this is it. So there's nothing much here. It's just a simple HTML code. So and this is the CSS. All right, so this is it. So the next thing we need to do is to start the JavaScript implementation for this. First of all, let's implement an endpoint that will interact with the backend API. So let's just say export async function login user. All right, so this is going to take a request data. All right, going to take a request data. So now we are going to say try const response. All right, so http/localhost 3030/API/v1. All right, so the backend is accessible at /login. So this is a post request. All right, and this is the request data. So this is okay, then response, because I wait response.json. Okay, that is correct. This is actually correct. So response data dot okay dot details. Okay, this is correct. So the next thing, let's export this function to our login .js. Let's create our login.js new file. We're going to call it login.js. all right, so let's also specify this in our webpack. So we are going to call this one login page. Let's say /public /src/login.js. all right, I'm going to specify it like this. All right, so we want to specify the path to our dist folder. Our dist folder is going to be accessible here /dist /login page dot bundle.js. all right, so this is the file is going to be outputted in our dist folder as login page.bundle.js. all right, and it's going to be under the dist folder. So let's specify this here. Now let's come to our login page.html. all right, so the first thing we need to like get the elements, all right, the ID. Okay, so right here, let's proceed with the implementation. We are going to say document dot add event listener DOM contents dot unloaded. So let's say function. All right, like this. So now let's get all the elements that we need. Let's say const. The first one is the form. Const error message. And let's say form. Let's say event dot prevent default. So let's get the element for the username and the password. We are going to say const username will be equals to document dot get element by ID. all right, dot value. So let's see what we have here. So we're going to say the ID of the username is still username. So let's close this. Let's close this. So this is it then. So let's get for the password. Const password. Password will be equals to documents dot get element by ID. So I'm sure it will be password dot value. All right, let me confirm. All right, the ID is password now. So after getting the value now, so the next thing, let's validate these two fields. We are going to say if username is equals to, let's say, an empty string, or username is equals to null. All right, if username is equals to null, so we want to display error messages. We'll say username is required. Username is required. All right, so we can return early. So we want to also say if password is equals to empty string, or let's say password is equals to null. All right, so we also want to display an error to say password is required. All right, then we can return. So this is it. Now after doing this, the next thing is to collect the input values together and form a request, like to construct the request structure. Let's call this the request data. Request data will be equals to, so we want to say username, so username like this, then password, passing the password like this. All right, so now we are going to use this request data now to make the request to the back. So let's import that endpoint, or that API for sending requests to the backend. Let's call it login user. So we're importing it from API service. Good. So we're going to say await login user. All right, then we'll pass in the request data like this. So this is an asynchronous method, so it is going to require us to pass async, all right, in the method signature. So let's just quick fix, let's add it. So you see we have added it here. So let's say this const response. All right, response will be equals to this. So we are going to say if not response. All right, so we want to display error message, then we can easily say response. Why do I keep response dot message? All right, or let's say response dot details, or login failed, something like this. I can easily say something like this, login failed. Then we can return. All right, but if the response is successful, the next thing we want to do is we are going to, because you know the response from the backend, when you log in successfully, it's going to send a request, which is the login request. So we are going to extract the values from the login request and then save those values to the local storage. So the values we are extracting from the login request are like the first name, the last name, the username, and all the other data, even the profile picture. So we want to extract those values and then we are going to save it. So let's have an helper method that we can use to save those values. Let's say function save login details. All right, so it's going to accept the response. All right, so we are going to now say, let's say local storage dot set item. So the first thing we want to set is the first name. So let's say response dot first name. Then let's say local storage dot set item, then the user ID. So let's say response dot user ID. Let's say local storage dot set item, last name. We're going to say response dot last name. So local storage dot set username, set item. We are going to say username, let's say response dot username. So let's set the email, local storage dot set item. So we are going to say email, then we'll say response dot email. Let's say local storage dot set item, phone number. Let's say response dot phone number, like this. Then we can say local storage dot set item. Then we want to say profile picture. Then this profile picture, we need to handle this profile picture. All right, let's say let profile picture response dot profile picture, or an empty string, like this. So then we want to make sure that the profile picture that is coming from the backend, we want to first of all clean it up. All right, because you know it's the URL that is coming from the backend, the custom URL, custom address that we built for the profile picture. So we need to first of all clean it up to be sure that it doesn't contain white space and also empty quotes, all right, or quotes. So that's the first thing we need to do. So we are going to say profile picture dot replace. All right, that's to remove any white space or white character or empty space. Then we'll set it to profile picture. So we also want to be sure of the format in which the profile picture is coming. So normally profile picture should be coming in a format of like HTTPS, all right, HTTP / then localhost, like the address, the backend address. All right, so but if it is not coming that way, we need to construct it here. So we are going to say if profile picture, all right, and not profile picture dot start with http. So we are saying now if the profile picture is available and the profile picture does not start with http, all right, so what we are going to do, we are going to say profile picture equals to, let's put this backtick, and then we are going to say http / localhost, all right, 3030 / uploads / uploads, all right. Then we want to pass in this profile picture here like this. So this is it, perfect. So we'll now set the profile picture. Sorry, we are doing it in the wrong place. It should be response dot phone number, and then we'll pass in the profile picture here. All right, I think this is all we need for now. All right, so now let's call this function here now. Right, so after passing it here, then the next thing we want to redirect the user to the home page dot location dot href pages slash chat dot html. All right, so that will be the home page of the chat app. So that's like the chat interface. So this is what we are going to create it now. So so this is what we are going to have. In fact, let's add this inside the try catch. Let's say try. All right, so just copy this. You can say console dot error. Let's say an error called during login. So we are going to say error, and then we can then display error messages. Then we can say error dot message. All right, error dot message, or login failed, try again. So we can do something like this. So this is basic, all right, for our login. So we can decide to still improve this later if there is any need for us to, but for now this is okay for a basic login. So the next thing we need to do now is let's try to test and see if, okay, let's create our chat.html page. All right, so let's just quickly add that. Let's say new file. We're going to have chat.html. all right, and then we'll have a chat.css. So let me also copy the code, the HTML code and the CSS code, and paste them. So there's nothing much, it's just plain HTML and CSS. We are going to see what it looks like. All right, I've pasted the chat page HTML. So this is the HTML code. It is very simple. All right, so there is nothing much here, just a simple HTML, and then this is the CSS. All right, it's just a simple CSS. So let me just open it so that you see what it looks like. All right, so let me just try to open it so that you see what it looks like. Let's click on this. Okay, you can see it's just a simple chat page. So there are certain values that we're going to populate dynamically, such as these profile pictures. Like there's a profile picture here, and also there's a profile picture here. So this profile picture is for the sender, all right, the logged in user. Then this is the person is chatting with. So this will not come up now. So when we start, we are going to add that dynamically using the JavaScript. All right, so that's the next step that we are going to implement. So but first of all, we need to test the login, so you see that the login is actually working. So once we log in, we should be redirected to this page. All right,